say friends.
Let me hold your ear.
And Romans.
Let me hold your ear.
I say countrymen.
Oh, so it's like that. That's cool. That's cool. I thought y'all was my peeps. Y'all ain't gonna have Cole to kick around no more.
Carl Anthony Payne II, better known as Cole Brown or Cockroach from The Cosby Show, just dropped some serious bombshells about what really went down behind the scenes. We're talking about drug allegations, on-set drama, lawsuits, and tensions so thick you could cut them with a knife.
I seen the picture with you two together. Was that the first time y'all seen each other in years?
Absolutely. And like literally 20-something years. Literally. Yeah.
From his ballet dancing days to becoming a household name, from clashing with Bill Cosby to witnessing Martin Lawrence's darkest moments, Carl Payne has seen it all. And now, he's finally ready to tell the truth about what happened during those 5 explosive seasons that changed television forever. This is the story Hollywood didn't want you to hear. The real story of Martin, told by the man who lived through every chaotic moment. Before Carl Anthony Payne II became the lovable Cole Brown or the unforgettable Cockroach, he was just a kid from Clinton, South Carolina, with some pretty unexpected talents. Born on May 24, 1969, Carl's journey to stardom started in the most unlikely place you could imagine: a ballet studio. That's right, the same guy who made us laugh as the dim-witted but lovable Cole was once pirouetting across dance floors. Carl studied ballet and performed with grace that would surprise anyone who only knows him from his comedy roles. It's one of those Hollywood secrets that sounds too crazy to be true, but there he was, trading ballet shoes for comedy gold. His path to entertainment began at the first all-children's theater, an off-Broadway repertory theater company where young Carl honed his craft. He wasn't just fooling around. This was serious training that would serve him well in the years to come. After graduating from Fiorello H. LaGuardia High School of Music and Art and Performing Arts in New York, he continued his education at Howard University. But it was his natural comedic timing and that infectious personality that really set him apart. Even during his ballet days, you could see there was something special about this kid. He had a way of making people smile, a gift that would soon catch the attention of some very important people in television. The transition from dance to acting wasn't as smooth as you might think. Carl had to prove himself all over again, auditioning for roles and dealing with rejection like every other aspiring actor. But his diverse background, from ballet to theater to comedy, gave him a unique edge that casting directors couldn't ignore. Carl's first real taste of television fame came with The Cosby Show, where he played Walter Cockroach Bradley.
I say friends.
Let me hold your ear.
And Romans.
Let me hold your ear.
I say countrymen.
This wasn't just any role. This was a chance to work alongside Bill Cosby, one of the biggest names in television at the time. For a young actor, it should have been a dream come true. But dreams can quickly turn into nightmares, and Carl learned that lesson the hard way. The trouble started over something you might think was trivial: Carl's hair. Bill Cosby wanted it cut a certain way, but Carl refused. Now, you might think this was just about personal style, but for Carl, it was about something deeper. It was about maintaining his identity and not letting someone else dictate how he should look. The tension between Carl and Cosby escalated quickly. Here was this young actor, just trying to make his mark in the industry, going head-to-head with one of the most powerful men in television. It takes guts to stand up to someone like that, especially when your career is on the line. But Carl stood his ground, and it cost him. His character was written off the show, and just like that, his first major television opportunity was over. Looking back, Carl doesn't seem to harbor any real resentment about it. He's learned to take every experience, even the negative ones, and turn them into something positive. "I take everything and turn it into something positive," Carl has said. "If you're a hater, if you come at me with negativity, I'm going to take that and make it work for me." That attitude would serve him well in the years to come, because his next major role would bring even bigger challenges and much more dramatic behind-the-scenes chaos. Despite the clash with Cosby, Carl's time as Cockroach left a lasting impression on fans. His chemistry with Malcolm Jamal Warner's Theo was undeniable, and viewers couldn't get enough of their dynamic duo. Even though he wasn't the star, Cockroach stole scenes and won hearts. When Carl Payne landed the role of Cole Brown on Martin, he had no idea he was about to become part of television history. The show premiered in 1992 and immediately changed the landscape of black television. This wasn't just another sitcom. This was a cultural phenomenon that brought African-American comedy back to primetime in a big way. Martin Lawrence was the star, the creative force, the executive producer. He played multiple characters in crazy disguises, delivered unforgettable catchphrases, and created a show that still holds up today. But Carl Payne, as the simple-minded but loyal Cole Brown, was the perfect foil to Martin's manic energy.
Hey, Tommy, man, why don't you pass brother one of them tater skins?
Oh, sure, bro.
The chemistry between the cast was electric on screen. Martin Lawrence, Carl Payne, Tommy Ford, and Tichina Arnold created something special together. They had that magic combination of perfect timing, genuine friendship, and comedic instincts that you can't fake or manufacture. For 5 seasons from 1992 to 1997, Martin was one of Fox's highest-rated shows. It consistently attracted huge audiences and became incredibly popular among African-American viewers who had been hungry for this kind of representation on television. But behind all that success, trouble was brewing. Carl Payne recently opened up about what was really happening during those years, and the picture he paints is very different from what fans saw on their screens every week. According to Carl, as the show became more successful, Martin Lawrence began to change. Success can do strange things to people, and in Martin's case, it created distance between him and the rest of the cast. Lawrence was no longer just an actor. He was the executive producer, the star, the guy calling all the shots. "You get to a certain place and start believing your own hype," Carl explained. He was no longer part of the cast in the same way. He was the executive producer, and that distance started being created between us. What Carl Payne revealed about Martin Lawrence's behavior during the show's run is deeply troubling. According to Carl, Martin was battling serious personal demons that led to explosive outbursts and erratic behavior on set. The most serious allegation Carl made was about Martin's alleged drug use. This wasn't just gossip or speculation. Carl was there, witnessing it firsthand. He described watching Martin's behavior deteriorate and feeling helpless to stop what was happening. "Show business got the best of him at a certain point in his life," Carl said. "When that happens, you see it happening and there's nothing you can do about it. You just pray for that person. It's like watching a car crash that you can't stop." These weren't just personality clashes or creative differences. This was someone Carl cared about spiraling out of control, and it was affecting everyone around him. The drugs, if Carl's allegations are true, would explain a lot about the chaos that eventually consumed the show. The network's response to all this drama was typical Hollywood: protect the star at all costs. Martin was the moneymaker, the face of the show, the one bringing in the ratings. Everyone else, including Carl, was considered expendable. "The network takes care of the star and everybody else is just a piece," Carl said bluntly. "That's just how it goes down, and you have to embrace being a piece." But embracing that reality doesn't make it any easier to watch someone you work with and care about destroying themselves. Carl found himself in an impossible situation, watching his friend and colleague fall apart while trying to maintain professionalism and keep the show going. The working environment became toxic. What should have been a fun, creative space where talented people came together to make great television turned into a nightmare of tension, unpredictability, and fear. The situation reached a breaking point when Tisha Campbell, who played Gina on the show, filed a lawsuit against Martin Lawrence. The allegations were serious: sexual harassment and abuse. For a show that was supposed to be about friendship and laughter, these accusations were devastating. Carl's reaction to the lawsuit reveals just how bad things had gotten behind the scenes. When asked about the tension between him and Martin and about Tisha's lawsuit, Carl's response was measured but telling. "When the show ended, there was tension between me and Martin," he acknowledged. Tisha filed a lawsuit against him, and he said it wasn't true. But clearly, we've worked it out now. The lawsuit was eventually settled out of court, but the damage was done. The scandal rocked the show and created an atmosphere where nobody felt safe or comfortable. How do you work with someone when there are allegations of abuse floating around? How do you maintain professionalism when the workplace has become hostile?
But Martin, unfortunately, show business at a certain point in his life got the best of him. And when that happens, you see it happening, and there's nothing you can do about it.
For Carl, watching all this unfold was heartbreaking. This was a show he believed in, with people he cared about, and it was all falling apart because of behavior that should never have been tolerated. The settlement might have resolved the legal issues, but it couldn't erase what had happened or repair the relationships that had been damaged. The scars from that experience would last much longer than the show itself. When Martin ended in 1997, Carl Payne and Martin Lawrence didn't see each other for 20 years. Think about that. Two people who had worked together so closely, who had created something that brought joy to millions of people, couldn't even be in the same room together. That kind of falling out doesn't happen over creative differences or contract disputes. That's the kind of break that comes from deep hurt, broken trust, and fundamental disagreements about how people should treat each other. For Carl, those 20 years must have been strange. Everywhere he went, people wanted to talk about Martin, wanted to know about the show, wanted to relive those funny moments. But he was carrying the weight of knowing what really happened behind the scenes. "The beef between Martin and me got so bad it practically poisoned the atmosphere," Carl admitted. "You'd never guess from watching the show, but I went through the ringer and still took it like a true champ." During those 20 years of separation, both men went on with their lives and careers. Carl appeared in various television shows and films, tried his hand at directing and producing, and even had to sell cars at one point to support his family. Martin continued his movie career and dealt with his own personal struggles. But the Martin legacy loomed large over both of their careers. For fans, the show represented pure joy and laughter. For Carl and Martin, it represented a complicated mix of success and trauma that they both had to process in their own ways. It took a tragedy to bring the Martin cast back together. When Tommy Ford, who played Tommy on the show, passed away, his death served as a wake-up call for everyone who had been part of that television family.
52-year-old Tommy Ford.
Ford, best known for his role as Tommy on the hit show Martin, suddenly passed away late this afternoon.
Carl was actually at the hospital when Tommy died, which shows just how close their friendship remained despite all the drama with Martin. He described getting a call about Tommy, who was going through knee surgery and rehabilitation at the time. "Tommy and I spoke daily, if not daily, then every other day," Carl revealed. "He was really a true friend. I just spoke to him, and he was like, 'Man, I'm going through this knee surgery. I'm going through rehab.'" The loss of Tommy forced everyone to confront their own mortality and the importance of the relationships they'd built during those 5 seasons of Martin. Whatever had happened between Carl and Martin suddenly seemed less important than honoring their friend's memory. The funeral was the first time the entire cast had been in the same place in 30 years. Carl described the experience as surreal, like they were all getting ready to go back to work together again. "It literally was the first time that we were all in the same place and space in 30 years, he said. "It really felt like Are we getting ready to go back to work? Just having all those moments of reminiscing. It was needed. It was very cathartic. Tommy's death reminded everyone of what they had shared during those Martin years. Despite all the drama and tension, they had created something special together. They had been part of each other's lives during a crucial time, and that bond couldn't be completely broken, even by 20 years of silence. The process of reconciling with Martin Lawrence wasn't easy or immediate. Carl describes it as something they worked really hard to achieve. Forgiveness doesn't happen overnight, especially when there's been genuine hurt and disappointment. We worked really hard to reconnect, to forgive, Carl explained. This reunion is about celebration. That word, celebration, is important. After all the drama, all the pain, all the years of separation, Carl chose to focus on celebrating what they had accomplished together, rather than dwelling on what had gone wrong. It takes maturity and emotional growth to reach that point. Carl could have held on to his anger and resentment forever. He could have continued to air dirty laundry and score points against Martin in interviews. Instead, he chose a different path.
I think people grow, man. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, the things you may have been mad about at 20-something, or you felt like whatever about, it's kind of like...
The Martin reunion on BET Plus became a symbol of that healing process. Seeing the cast together again, laughing and reminiscing, was emotional for fans who had wondered for years what had really happened between them. But for Carl, the reunion represented something even more important: the ability to separate the good from the bad, to honor the positive impact the show had while acknowledging the struggles they'd all faced. Martin called me the day after I separated to just reconnect, Carl revealed, showing that even Martin recognized the need to repair their relationship. In any case, Carl's career evolution shows his determination to grow beyond just acting. He's ventured into directing and producing, working on several independent films and projects that reflect his creative vision behind the camera. I direct a lot of the episodes for the shows that I'm doing, and I directed a film that's coming to theaters, Carl explained, showing his ambition to control more aspects of the creative process. This move into directing and producing highlights his versatility and his refusal to be pigeonholed as just a comedic actor. He's always been more than just Cole Brown or Cockroach. He's a creative force with his own vision and ideas. Beyond his work in entertainment, Carl has become involved in motivational speaking and mentoring young actors. He shares his experiences and provides guidance to those looking to enter the entertainment industry, demonstrating his commitment to giving back to the community. We are bringing the on-set film camp to Houston, Carl announced. Houston has been really good to me. It's been like my backyard for quite a long time. There's a ton of talent in Houston, and this brings me back to when I was younger and found my career in the arts. Carl sees this mentoring work as providing a safe space where kids can learn and find out if entertainment is something they want to pursue. It's one of those things that's both about giving back to the community and providing opportunities for the next generation. His commitment to helping young people shows how Carl has taken all his experiences, both positive and negative, and turned them into something that can benefit others. Today, Carl Payne continues to stay active in the entertainment industry with several exciting projects. He stars in the MTV show Binge to Death, a dark comedy where he plays a significant role, proving that his comedic talents are still in high demand. Carl also continues to engage with audiences through live performances. He had a comedy show at the Uptown Comedy Corner in Atlanta in February 2024, and he frequently appears on talk shows and other media platforms. Recently, he featured in an episode of Tamron Hall, where he discussed his career and the Martin reunion at the 2024 Emmys.
Yeah, we getting our Emmy tonight.
This year, Carl earned an NAACP nomination for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a TV Movie, Limited Series, or dramatic special for his role in MTV's Binge to Death. After all these years, he's still getting recognized for his work, still proving that talent and persistence pay off. He's also involved with Tyler Perry's Young Dylan on Nickelodeon, showing his ability to work across different networks and appeal to different audiences. Just finished shooting the third season of Young Dylan, which is a kids' show on Nickelodeon. Carl noted. As of 2024, Carl Payne's net worth is estimated to be between $1.5 to $10 million. The variance in estimates is due to different evaluations of his earnings and assets from acting, directing, and business ventures. Looking back on everything Carl Payne has experienced, from his ballet dancing days to the Cosby Show drama, to the Martin chaos to his current success, there are some powerful lessons about resilience, forgiveness, and personal growth. Carl has learned to take every experience, even the negative ones, and turn them into something positive. He's learned that success can change people, but it doesn't have to destroy relationships permanently. He's learned that family, both biological and chosen, is what really matters in the end. It's about communication, and you got to learn how to grow together and learn how to argue, Carl has said about relationships. A lot of times, it's something small that's not worth battling over. You gotta let it go. You gotta pick your battles. These lessons apply to everything: marriage, friendship, business relationships, and dealing with difficult people in the entertainment industry. Carl's story is ultimately about survival and transformation. He survived the clash with Bill Cosby. He survived the toxic environment on Martin. He survived the lean years when he had to sell cars to support his family. And he's thrived by staying true to his values and never giving up on himself or the people he cares about. His willingness to finally speak openly about what happened during Martin shows his maturity and his understanding that sometimes the truth needs to be told, even when it's uncomfortable. But he's told that truth with grace, focusing on healing rather than revenge, on growth rather than blame. The legacy of Martin the Show will always be complicated. For fans, it remains a source of joy and laughter. For Carl Payne, it's a reminder of both the heights and depths of the entertainment industry, the incredible success and the personal cost that sometimes comes with that success. But most importantly, it's a testament to the power of forgiveness, the importance of family, and the possibility of turning even the most difficult experiences into sources of strength and wisdom. Anyway, that's it for this video, folks. Bye.